And so I'm going to introduce our first lecturer of this session. I see that Michelle Polglase is already here. And so I'm going to invite Michelle from the University of Canterbury in Christchurch in New Zealand. Michelle, can you? Okay, hello. And so she's an enterprise manager at the Center for Entrepreneurship at the University of Canterbury in Christchurch, and she will talk about new innovations to fuel New Zealand's food, fibre and AgriTech sector. So I leave you the stage, and so please, if you want to, you can share your screen, and so we start with this first lecture today.
Excellent, wonderful. Thank you so much, Federica. So you want me to share my screen with my video?
Yeah, that's great.
Let me just make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Sharing that now. Just put the right one up. Here we go, sharing. And sorry, let me just make sure I'm right at the beginning. Right, so kia ora everybody. I'm going to be discussing new innovations to fuel New Zealand's food, fibre and agri-tech sector. And let me just bring this into the right format here. Oh, no, I don't want to do that one. I don't want to do that one, excuse me. Well, let me just try that one. Presentation mode. I'm just going to stop sharing just for a moment. My apologies.
Yes, no worries.
Into present mode. Let me try that one again. So I'm in present mode and now I will share my screen. I should have done that first. So for me, it's 7 p.m. at night and I've just been finding office space and it's a delight to be here. So here I am and we're all sorted. So today I'm going to be discussing the new innovations to fuel New Zealand's food, fibre and agri-tech sector. So I am here in Christchurch, kia ora from New Zealand. A little bit about me. So in the bio that I sent through to Federica as well, I'm based at the University of Canterbury, Enterprise Manager at the Centre for Entrepreneurship. And there's a real appetite for delivering innovation programs here at the University of Canterbury. So we're in the South Island on the East Coast. And there's a real need for food and agri-tech innovation. And I'll be talking tonight about a recent food, fibre and agri-tech challenge. And there's some interesting teams went through the accelerator program that sort of tie in quite nicely from a circular economy perspective. So Canterbury is New Zealand's largest agricultural region. It's a test bed for innovation. The recent challenge had a combination of companies and teams from Crown research institutions, so they're government-funded organisations, including Ag Research. We work very closely with our Christchurch NZ, our economic development agency here in Christchurch. So we're looking at building capabilities, and we're looking at the larger economic picture of what that value can then contribute to the economy. We also work very closely with KiwiNet through this challenge. So they're a research commercialisation arm, and I've mentioned Ag Research as a CRI. And we had a number of university contributions, so Lincoln University, B-Link Innovation, as well as our delivery partners. So as an innovation ecosystem, there is a lot of appetite for supporting these ventures. And the teams that went through were focusing on innovation and on-farm technologies, agricultural production and processing, and also the food and fibre products. So, you know, this food, fibre and agri-tech Supernode challenge was all about solving some important problems around food security, water quality, soil preservation, and looking at innovative ways of doing this as well. I've mentioned the challenge partners. So we've got the Centre for Entrepreneurship at the university, and we also run a founder incubator. So ThinkLab Canterbury is an internationally connected founder incubator, and it's embedded within the Centre for Entrepreneurship. So we had ThinkLab advisors delivering the accelerator content, and I work alongside these advisors as well. And it's as a venture catalyst and support for emerging research, science and technology founders. There's a real I guess, a pathway for taking these ideas and concepts forward. There's obviously a lot happening globally, and New Zealand is a small country of 5 million people, you know, we've successfully sort of managed to keep the world at bay from a COVID perspective, but we need to be there on a global stage, and we need to be really, you know, delivering economic value for our small country. The accelerator part of the challenge, we really focused on defining some problems, some real problems, on who the customer was for these problems, and then we supported the teams through the accelerator process to really be able to articulate the value proposition. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the companies that went through. So we had a range of companies. I've just sort of picked a very small group of the companies that went through that I thought might be of interest in this talk here tonight, in this presentation tonight. And so, you know, quite a range of interesting companies solving interesting challenges and problems. So one of the first companies I'm just going to showcase tonight is a company called GeneSmith. They're using technology to basically support on-farm decision-making. And they're using AI in the sense of artificial intelligence, not the other type of AI, for looking at, for basically matching lambs to use, and looking at how Kiwi sheep farmers and Australian sheep farmers as well actually can start to focus on unlocking latent potential in the industry. So they're identifying the types of animals best suited to a farming system they can pick up from a gate if animals are injured or sick. And they've just got that 24/7 kind of presence in Canterbury and Christchurch. It's winter, so we've had snowstorms. So there's a lot of you know, ability to use that data to make better on-farm decisions. One of the other companies, so I'm just going to go through about half a dozen. I am trying to take all the time up. We've got Happy Cow Milk. So this is a really interesting cut out the large milk producers and take milk production effectively to the farmers. So Glenn has a setup in a cafe in the CBD in Christchurch, where the milk is pasteurised. So they have a partnership with a farm, with one farmer. The milk is all pasteurised on premise, and it's just sort of back to that move back to sort of the localisation of production. So New Zealand sort of went sort of big and big scale. Fonterra is obviously our largest kind of, well, it's obvious to us because we live in New Zealand, but it's a very large exporter. But there's this move back to localization, to supporting small communities and a farmer-led business. So Glenn went through and took out the Enterprise Small Business Award for his approach to this problem that we see. Of interest from a fibre perspective, we have a University of Canterbury PhD student, Miriam, who was working on flow batteries, so environmentally friendly battery technology to optimise and reduce the cost of flow batteries and using natural fibres. That's a really interesting opportunity for Miriam. She's in the process of handing in her PhD at the moment. And we've been supporting her through that process. So the next step for her will be how to commercialise that research, and we're also working working with her supervisor within the University of Canterbury to see, you know, what that commercialisation pathway will be. So really interesting project that she's been involved in. From the AgriTech Crown Research Institute, we have Clara Spec. So from an on-farm systems award process, they have a tool to measure lamb product quality, hyperspectral imaging. So there are several sort of applications utilising that technology, and just looking at the value add-on. So New Zealand has traditionally been let's export the raw products without that value add, and now again with that sort of trend towards localization, there's also a trend now to how can we add value before we export all our best and most fabulous products. So I think, you know, how Cameron and the team have sort of developed the opportunity with Clara Spec is going to be really sort of change that value add, particularly for the sheep industry. From a bio protectant angle, we had Lisa took Lateral through the accelerator program, and looking at different ways of solving the problems of pest control. So this is the development of a bacteria-based bioprotectant. Had a lot of people interested. They took out the Out of Canterbury award. They're actually a team that's based in the top of the North Island in Auckland. But there's some really interesting opportunities for this particular company to save a range of challenges in the process of capital raising at the moment. I guess from a global perspective in New Zealand, taking the community approach to a business, so a Māori iwi-led community approach to business. We were very excited to have Adam and the Pure Heart Aotearoa hemp milk product in the accelerator program. It's a company established by an iwi up in the North Island, Ngāti ka hungunu ki tamaki nui arua, and that translates to the people of Kahungunu, or the chief. So this is all about taking an approach that supports the people of the community, takes natural resources and traditional knowledge and supports the community to create jobs and to really take products and businesses forward. So Pure Heart have a range of products actually already available online, and they're developing this absolutely delicious hemp milk, or I'm sure it will be delicious, and I'm looking forward to testing that as soon as that's available, which should be very soon. So they're looking to scale up production at the moment and get that to market. And then also from a fibre perspective, just my sort of final example of the teams that went through the accelerator program, right here in the University of Canterbury in the Centre for Entrepreneurship, we have Kiwi Innovations. So they're taking a traditional product, harakiki, flax, traditional Indigenous flax in New Zealand, and they've made a biocomposite skateboard from that. So I spoke actually to one of the co-founders today, William, and the natural fibre composite area is growing exponentially. Harakiki flax is an opportunity to upcycle. The flax itself is used in a lot of riparian planting around the riverways in Canterbury, and they've taken that product and then combined it with recycled PLA from 3D printer waste from universities and schools. So I think there's some really interesting opportunities from this perspective to do more of this. And these guys they're pretty excited to take this forward. So, from the perspective of showcasing some innovation to take these companies through a process of basically market validation, a bit of a commercialization process in a really condensed and compressed sort of frame of time. We're really excited to see these companies go forward, these products go to market, these individuals build entrepreneurial capabilities and change the world. So I'm going to go ciao, but it's not really ciao yet because I understand we have time for questions. Does anyone have any questions about the Food, Fibre and AgriTech Challenge?
Yeah, I actually have a curiosity. So I'm an architect and urban planner, and so I found really interesting what your presentation, and so these examples and companies that participated in this challenge. And so I want to know, I don't know if you can actually answer to my curiosity, but it's more about what is the role in these experiences about the role of the local governments of the municipalities in the promotion of new technologies, in the promotion of innovation in agriculture? And so I want to know if there are any kind of initiatives that support these activities in New Zealand.
Absolutely. So So being based at the Centre for Entrepreneurship and working with the ThinkLab Founder Incubator, we get funding from the government, from Callaghan Innovation, from our regional economic development agency, effectively Christchurch NZ, to fund innovation. There's, you know, the importance of developing entrepreneurial capabilities is well recognised in New Zealand, and the, you know, as we move to the future of work and we're utilising technologies in a digital-led economy, there is also an appetite to look at the ways that things have been done, to look at better ways, to look at vision matauranga and look at traditional methods of delivering delivering product as well, and tapping into those people and resources and knowledge, and, you know, can we create a better future? So there's a lot of support from government for these types of programs, and we, you know, from the Food, Fibre and AgriTech Supernode Challenge was a highly successful program. It's a very high profile program. It's received a lot of positive feedback, and very proud to have been involved with it.
Thank you. Are there further questions or comments? I see that in the chat, Alessandro Pernice wrote that good examples of how to link social inclusion, business development, and circular economy. So if, yeah, we have a very strict program, so I think we will go ahead with the next lecture. Many thanks, Michelle, for this contribution and presentation. And I know that there is quite late, and so it's 9 p.m. And so we really thank you for joining us. And yes, so many thanks.
Thank you for the opportunity, and take care. We'll catch you soon. Thank you.